now I'm recording on the Insta360 Go 2, and I have this DJI. Had a great deal on this on Amazon for the Prime Day. Believe it or not, I am going to stick this right on my windshield. People are going to think I'm nuts. Right now, I'm on the Insta360 Go 2 because I don't like having the windshield in the view, and I also don't like the head turning when I'm approaching a street. So before I put this on a drone, I'm going to check it on the motorcycle. This windshield, it does rattle around quite a bit, so this might not be the best spot. I am on the regular standard field of view, and I am on the steady stabilization. So you have all these different stabilizations, and as I go through this little test, I will switch that stabilization, and then I'll come back and watch the videos and figure out which one is actually going to work the best. But the windshield does rattle around a little bit. It's gonna, so we'll see how it does. That's almost worse than Jello. It might be better. You know, there's just nowhere really. This ram mount too clamps anywhere pretty much, but I don't like that. I think that's going to be too much. Or I could put it right here where I think it's going to be less shaky than up here. I think I can do that. And I did a little experiment where I could actually reach around and still press the button. I can still reach around and press the button. So maybe I'll just stick it right there. You stick that on there, man. That baby's on there. Oh well. It's an aftermarket windshield anyway. So there it is. You'd barely even know it was there. Like I say, I'm on the bike. I can easily reach around and still hit that button. Now, I think I probably want to tilt that forward a little bit. The GoPro one, it has this rubber thing in there. So when you pop it in here, it doesn't rattle around as much, and it has a I don't think it's going to break like that other one. I've seen them other cheapies break, and maybe that rubber give it a little dampening too. So both these cameras are set at 2K 50 frames a second, and then auto shutter. I think the DJI camera is set at a maximum IO of 400, but I'm still getting familiar with all the settings, so. Get a stoplight until we get to the highway. Well, the Insta360 didn't last long. The battery went dead. So now I'm going to change this mode to a different steady, rock steady. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll go around this other loop. But no more 360 camera. Okay, so I turned the max ISO setting up to 800 and ±3 on the EV setting. Now I'm going to horizontal balancing mode, and it raises up the exposure to 1.3. I'm going to go back the same way I came, and I'm going to change it one more time to that last stabilization mode. Go back to that gas station and change it. Okay, the only thing I've changed is now I'm at the last level of stabilization, which is it's horizontal steady. I'm rocking the bike back and forth here a little bit. Now in this mode you can only go in the standard field of view. Some guy going crazy with a remote control car. So I just wanted to put it on the motorcycle and try that before I crash it on a drone. I got the dang. That thing does wheelies. And I want to print a TPU holder for this camera anyway, because I don't feel like there's enough protection. And when I weighed these things out, all these little attachments you need to mount the thing onto a drone and stuff like that, I don't feel like it's super secure on this magnetic thing, even though it's pretty secure. If you hit it pretty hard, you'd break the lens, you'd break the camera, you'd break the screen, and you'd probably dislodge it from its mount. I think it being in a TPU drone mount for FPV drones, that would be your safest bet to not lose the camera and not damage it. So rock steady, get you, maybe on a Cinelog you can probably just use the mounts they have, but they are heavy. Just that little GoPro type mount, magnetic that attaches to the bottom of this camera, it is, I think it's like 14 grams. And then you have the aluminum case, that's even more. So, I mean, altogether, the camera with the mount and the aluminum case that's supposed to dissipate heat and protect it a little, it weighed like 80 something, almost 90 grams. You take all that stuff off, it's in the 50s. So, yeah, a TPU mount, lightweight plastic TPU, is going to make a difference if you try to put this on like a 2.5 or 3 inch Cinelog, or a 3.5 inch freestyle drone. On a 5 inch, it ain't gonna make much of a difference, but I like flying the smaller drones because I live in the city, and we got a lot of Karens running around when you put a drone up in the air. So that's my take on it. Rock steady and shoot in. This is the standard view. I'll play with that later. But I think Rocksteady is going to give you your best. I'll put a card up in the right-hand corner, right up here, for the Insta360 camera. You might be surprised how it holds up against this DJI at these settings, but this is pretty much the max settings you can get out of the Insta360. So, since I got this on Prime Day, this DJI Action camera on Prime Day for $299, that's pretty much what I paid for the Insta360 Go 2 when I bought it, when it first came out. So you might be surprised. It's pretty good. Take a look.